Good evening. Thousands of passengers across Canada are left stranded tonight as Via Rail suddenly canceled trains across the country. The move comes as protesters continue to block parts of Canada's rail lines in opposition of a pipeline set to make its way through First Nations territories in northern BC.
We were trying to go back home, Windsor. We had seen play come from away, and now we're stranded ourselves.
Inside Union Station, frustration and confusion after a sea of cancellations hit the board.
Greyhound's booked solid, rooms around here booked solid, so now we're going towards the airport.
Would-be passengers were left without many options after Via Rail suddenly canceled trains across the country at 4 p.m. Eastern with virtually no notice.
I think there should have been some kind of heads up, some kind of notice, or they should be directing us to a motel, someplace we can go. Right now, they left us high and dry.
The move came after CN Rail announced it would be shutting down operations in eastern Canada, which includes many of the tracks Via trains operate on. They announced refunds would be issued automatically. A lucky few, though, managed to avoid being stranded, squeezing onto the last trains home.
I just might make it home, and I feel very lucky about it. I read the news, and my train is leaving in 20 minutes, so let's go to the station. It seems to be that's on time.
And that will be
so
the last one out.
There will be the last one out, I think.
At the root of the issue, a series of blockades set up by Indigenous rights activists protesting the coastal GasLink pipeline, which is set to cross Wet'suwet'en First Nation in British Columbia. Nationwide protests were sparked last week after RCMP began enforcing a court order to remove those blocking construction.
The federal government and the province both have a responsibility to acknowledge that the Wet'suwet'en have never ceded, surrendered, or extinguished our title to our lands, and we have full jurisdiction and authorization to make decisions on our territory.
This is a situation we're following very closely. I have had a long and constructive conversation with Premier Horgan on the flight.
Prime Minister Trudeau says he's hoping to work toward a resolution. In a statement, Transport Minister Marc Garneau says, in part, freedom of expression is an important democratic right, but these activities must respect the court's decisions and the law. I'm fully aware and deeply concerned by the impact of the decision CN was forced to take and its consequent effect on Via Rail. I'm meeting with my provincial and territorial counterparts as well as representatives of national Indigenous organizations tomorrow, and we'll be discussing a way forward. CN Rail says it obtained court orders requesting law enforcement to help clear blockades in 3 provinces. And while they were successful in Manitoba and BC, the court orders in Ontario have yet to be enforced. While it is a huge inconvenience, some passengers say they are sympathetic to the cause.
I agree with the protest. That's out of doubt that I think people should be aware what we're doing there with the pipeline.
We're not going to see real change by simply asking and requesting. It has to be a forced change and a shift in power.
Now, Metrolinx confirmed that even though many of its trains run along stretches of the CN Rail line, they're not anticipating any disruption to GO service, but they do say they are monitoring that situation closely.